Get cool stuff for what you were going to do anyway. Drink beer. With Buy Beer, Get Gear from Labatt, you can just snap a photo of your receipt and upload it to the website to rack up points for exclusive merch. Get points for every purchase, whether you're grabbing a pint on draft, a case for a party, or a tall boy at the stadium. Any size, any product, anywhere you buy Labatt. Buy beer, get gear. Sign up now at rewards.labattusa.com.
Now, stand back for your own safety.
Steve, what's up?
Congrats on the win.
Thanks, Steve. Where Paulie at?
Here we go.
I'm checking out. I will respond to you, but I'm done for the week. I'm done.
Steve is my favorite part of the show. How's that?
Yes. I like that. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Check for sound.
Pleasure to be on there talking with Paulie, man. He's a good dude.
I'm an idiot. I'll just shut up and let you talk. I was trying to help.
And shout out to Tupac.
3, 2, 1, and
This is Orange Nation.
Well, hello, Paulie and Steve.
With Stephen Fonte and Paulie Sibilia.
Check it out. Good afternoon, everyone. Glad to have you with us alongside Paulie Sibilia. I'm Stephen Fonte. It's a Wednesday edition of Orange Nation. We've got Isaac Shade from Locked On College Basketball and Locked On UNC to join us at 12:30. We'll talk college hoops with Isaac. And then coming up at 1 o'clock, Greg Wyshynski, NHL senior writer for ESPN, as we'll talk some hockey. Stanley Cup final underway with Vegas taking game one, striking first on the road as they come back. They beat Carolina 5-4 in game one. Game two set for tomorrow night. And, of course, we've got Knicks and Spurs game one tonight as the NBA Finals tip off. Paulie, what's going on?
Not much. I need to look up what the Vegas Knights were preseason to win the Stanley Cup, and if anybody made that bet, what they would make.
It's been a remarkable story. I mean, they're peaking at the right time, right? And that's important. That's what everybody's hoping for. And Vegas has got it going right now.
I peaked at the right time too, and now I'm on the way down, Steve.
Past your peak, past your prime.
How'd you sleep last night?
I did okay. How about you?
Good. I fell asleep at 10:30 last night. Man, oh man, a Padres game that starts at 6:40. If the Padres are an East Coast team, my life would be so much better. So much better.
They win last night?
No, they stink.
No.
They stink. They stink. Thanks for bringing that up. We want to talk about this, the Ken Palm rankings for the past 10 years, Steve, of college basketball came out.
Yeah.
And Syracuse is basically what we said they were. Meh.
Sitting at number 60.
The past few years were bad, but they're right in the middle of the pack. Or they should be higher, but...
Well, yes, of course.
They're just bleh. The rock bottom for Syracuse was average, and I've said that. Hopefully they're out of it. Hopefully they don't hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't fall to 118 or to 100, you know?
For those who aren't familiar with the Ken Palm, I mean, we've all heard it, but what goes into it? So it comes down to its main core values, for lack of a better term, are the metrics: offensive efficiency, adjusted offensive efficiency, adjusted defensive efficiency, strength of schedule, adjusted tempo. Those are generally the four big ones, and it takes into account obviously margin of victory and who you play, where you play them, that sort of thing. And so. Syracuse checks in at number 60. I can't say that I'm surprised.
Yeah.
It's about what I expected.
And it starts, dude, you said we haven't sucked for 10 years. No, they haven't sucked for 10 years. They've sucked for 3 years, really. Right?
Yeah.
They really sucked for 2 years.
Well, it's been...
The first year under Red, they got 20 wins. It's been bad under Syracuse's terms, but they haven't. Come on.
It's been a bad stretch.
Yeah.
It's been a bad stretch. It's it is not rock bottom as you've said. And there are plenty of Power 4 teams that are below them, but Syracuse should not be 60th.
No. LAR says we sucked for 10 years according to that chart. No, it's an average. So it probably means they were good at some points and bad in the other. That put them at 60. Right?
Yeah, I mean, 60...
It's not rocket ship science.
No, but 60 is no good.
It's not good.
60 is no good for Syracuse.
I went through the list, Steve, and I found about 17 teams that should never, ever, ever be ahead of Syracuse in whether it's a poll, it's a Ken Palm. I have them. Syracuse at its worst should be about 41st, 42nd, around there, in the mid 40s at their worst.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and that puts you, that means you're getting into the NCAA tournament if you're 40th, right?
Yeah, you should never be behind Northwestern, Dayton, Boise State, Kansas State. Every once in a while might jump you. Florida State, Virginia Tech, Seton Hall, Colorado, Utah State, Providence, Penn State, TCU. You shouldn't be behind those schools if you're Syracuse.
In terms of the teams in their own conference that they're behind on this ranking, is Virginia Tech the only one that you've got them? They need to be better than them on a regular basis.
Yeah. Virginia Tech, maybe Clemson. Every once in a while, but we know Clemson's got money.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the list of the ACC schools ahead of them. So let's see. Duke is obviously in the top 5. Carolina's 13th. Virginia's 23rd.
Yeah.
Clemson's 30th.
LA Orange can't grasp the math in this, and I'm not going to sit here and argue about it all day. They shouldn't be. Syracuse at its worst should be at 25. No. Yeah, if you're doing. No, they shouldn't. At their worst, Ken Palm-wise, they should be in the 40s.
Well,
at the best,
if you think about it.
Do you know how good you have to be to be 25th in Ken Palm right now over 10 years?
If you think about it, there are 4 power conferences, 5 if you want to throw the Big East in there. But for the sake of this argument, why don't you say 4? And if you are middle of the road, which Syracuse has been, 8, 9, 10, that's roughly 40th. Throw in like a Gonzaga, throw in a couple Big East schools.
At its worst, Syracuse should be
I'm with
40s.
you on that. I'm with you on that. Ballpark it around 40th, and that hasn't been the case. I mean, you can't there's no debating that. It's been worse than is acceptable around here, which is why they're moving on to a new coaching staff now to see if they can get it right.
And are there years Syracuse? I bet you there's years Syracuse has been top 10, but it's just, is that sustainable in the NIL era? Probably not. But Syracuse needs to be better in basketball. I think we're all arguing the same thing. It's just semantics. If you get into the 40s, you're probably a tournament team, and that's where you got to be to start building your program back up.
It'd be interesting to see how these rankings change. So this particular ranking goes back 10 years. It'd be interesting to see going back 5 years.
Yeah, Syracuse would be worse.
Because of where the NIL, that's kind of where NIL, became a thing. I'd be curious to see where, Penn State's not going to be in the top 40 of that. A lot of these schools are not going to be in the top 40. I think the top 40 would look a lot different in the last 5 years than it does over the course of the last 10 years. But, it's the way of the world right now. And so, Syracuse struggled even before NIL became a thing. But the danger is, the concern is that the gap will widen.
Yes.
The further we go down the road here with NIL, and that's what that's why this year is so important, to stop the bleeding and move it back in the right direction, get it back on the right path, and hope that you can close the gap as opposed to the gap widening.
Mediocrity accepts mediocrity. No one's accepted mediocrity. They're moving on from the coach, and we say they got to be better. Nobody's accepted it.
Yeah, it's
just been bleh.
It's not acceptable. Again, which is why they're moving on. And you hope that they can get it right. I don't expect them to be 60th for the foreseeable future, but it's hard to know with NIL. We were listening to go ahead.
And this is just analytics too. This doesn't mean they were that big in wins. Like Gonzaga's probably not number 1 if you went by wins and.
Gonzaga's won a lot of games.
Yeah, and they also play in a bad conference. Yeah. But Duke's number 2. Yeah. It's Ken Palm, guys. So we'll all find out together if they get better.
Yeah, I think putting them inside the that is, I think, the right benchmark is they should be inside the top 40 every year. Good season, bad season, they should be inside the top 40. They should be making the NCAA tournament year in and year out. And then there's going to be seasons you're better than that and go on a run. At least that's the hope. But yeah, 60th on average. Again, that's an average over 10 years.
Yeah.
That's no good. That's not good enough.
Yeah.
Not good enough at all.
Unacceptable.
I was going to bring up the fact that, and I'm sure we'll get into this at some point as the show moves along, but you and I, before the show started, were talking about Nick Saban's comments this week about the NIL era and how dramatically it's jumped from one season to the next. And he brought up the fact that in the first year of true NIL at Alabama, they had a collective that was paying out $2.7 million. The next season, it jumped to $7 million. The next season, it jumped to $10 million. Then he retired. Then it jumped to 17. Then it jumped to 24. And he's talking about, again, rosters that are in the neighborhood of $40-50 million right now. It gives you some idea of how this thing has escalated and how it has escalated very quickly, Paulie.
Yeah. Let me put into perspective for you, Steve, about how this is an average. Louisville finished behind Syracuse, right? Everybody would take where, if you were a Louisville fan right now, you wouldn't care what this said, right?
Miami, NC State, Louisville, just a few of the ACC teams that are below them.
Syracuse needs to move up, yes, but they have not been the worst in the ACC over the past 10 years.
Yeah.
But Louisville changed it, turned it around. Miami is much better also after 1 year. We'll see if it's sustained at Miami.
Yeah, and that's why I'm curious if you looked at the last 5 years. Yes. Miami's one of those teams with the NIL that you would expect.
But they also had a horrible year.
That's true. And Louisville, has had some bad years, but they've also had some really good years.
2 good years, yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see the rankings and how they look differently given the NIL, because you would expect Miami's going to be a lot higher than that. You would expect NC State's going to be higher.
SMU also.
Yeah, for sure. It's certainly moving forward. All right, that's our opening drive brought to you by Burdick BMW of Cicero and Burdick Toyota. We've got Isaac Shade coming up here at 12:30.
Sorry. That also goes to my point, Steve, that we've made a million times that everybody laughs at us. Louisville hit rock bottom.
Yes.
Because they've had 2 above average years, great years for where they were.
Yeah.
Right?
And they're 69th on this list. Yes.
So, yes, it could have been worse.
All right, we'll take a time out here. Phone lines open if you want to check in. 315-437-7644. We are back after this on ESPN Radio.
So, LA Orange, if you are what the numbers say you are, you would rather be Syracuse than Louisville, right? That makes sense. Dummy. And I have no idea. If I knew when NIL was going to stop, I'd know. Making the tournament would be great. What up, show bro, Michael? Syracuse now has to do what Louisville did and figure it out. They screwed up with their coach. I didn't say 60 was fine. I said it was meh. It wasn't as bad as it got for Louisville, and now Syracuse has to fix it. So stop putting words in my mouth and pay attention. You'd rather be Louisville or Syracuse right now than Louisville if you go by what you're saying. Thank you, Grant. You're obnoxious also. That's pretty low bar, Q's. I think they would be okay year one with an NIT run if it looks like 21 or 22 wins and they just... I don't know that Syracuse would play in the NIT.
Well, if you're keeping all the guys, I think there's benefit to it. You hope that's not even a discussion, though.
Paul smells like a rubber. You probably smelled my underwear. You've been in my apartment. Sorry I kept interrupting you. I just need to get my hot takes out sometimes, Steve. I apologize. I'll let you finish.
Louisville has one tournament win in the last 10 years. Last 9 years. They have 2 tournament wins in the last 10 years.
Oh. You guys, stop saying that 21 wins get you into the tournament in the Big Dance now that it's been expanded. That is not true. You have to have quad 1 wins.
Yeah, Louisville's won 41 games the last 2 years. No, 51 games the last 2 years, but only 1 tournament game. And then prior to that, their last tournament win came in 2017.
It doesn't mean you get quad 1 wins if you win 21 games. I did the math last year. Syracuse could have gotten 23 wins, I figured out, and still not made the tournament because of just no quad 1 wins. It's the fact, and you got to live with it. That's why they've got to win preseason games, and they got to beat big boys in the conference. There is not necessarily going to be quad 1 wins.
I mean,
LA Orange, do you think they would get into the tournament with 21 wins and no quad 1 wins? Answer honestly, do you think they would? SMU didn't get in a couple years ago like that. It's just... Red Hot Chili Peppers, Steve. Give it away.
You know, something came up on the show yesterday briefly. We said we were going to get back to it, and we never did get back to it. I feel like now's a good time to bring it up on the heels of our college basketball talk from the first segment, and that is Donna DeTota spoke with... Basketball. No, you don't want to talk basketball?
No, I'm fine. Go ahead.
What do you want to talk about,
I'm
Paul?
just sick and tired of basketball. I'm just tired.
You can't be tired. It's early June. There's a long stretch here before games.
Everybody thinks that the expansion right now is just all of a sudden Syracuse has got to be a tournament team with 20 wins. It's just not true. You need to win quad 1 games. Still got to win them. You could win a lot of ACC games and not pick up a quad 1 win.
Yeah, I mean, I do think as the ACC improves, like, again, if you're on the road, top 75 gets you in, right? Top 75 is a quad 1.
Yeah, but there's no guaranteeing that
there's no guarantee. My point is you would be hard pressed to win multiple games on the road in the conference and for it not to be a quad 1.
Hard pressed?
Yeah.
With last year's schedule? Georgia Tech's not getting you one. Pitt's not getting you one.
I mean, Wake Forest last year would have been a quad 1. Florida State inside the top 75. Virginia Tech inside the top 75. Those are
3
average teams. SMU is certainly in the inside.
4.
Now we're starting to get into the better teams.
But
NC
you got to win those games.
Miami. No, I understand, but I'm saying if you win multiple, you win a handful of road games, the chances are they're going to be a quad 1. A couple of them at least will be quad 1.
2 years ago, that wouldn't have been the case. You don't know. You got to go out and beat good teams.
Yeah.
Bottom line, 2 years ago, it wouldn't have been the case.
Yeah, I mean, even like Notre Dame last year Notre Dame was on the outside of the top 75, but pretty close to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it obviously depends, year to year. But if you're winning a handful of games on the road in the conference, chances are pretty good that at least a couple of those are going to fall into the quad one category, I guess is my point.
If the ACC is good. Yeah.
I mean, the ACC was improved last year, and so they had a few extra teams inside the top 75.
We just talked about NIL, and teams like Syracuse, Virginia Tech, Notre Dame are going to fall further behind every year until they figure something out, right? Notre Dame ain't going to spend like they do on football. Football's got to get all the money.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and we kind of cut our conversation there with the Saban comments short, but one of the points that he brought up, and I think it's a valid point, and I think it's something that we're starting to see the early stages of, like with Notre Dame cutting their baseball scholarships in half. I think you're going to see that all of the money, like right now there's a percentage, but I think it's going to be pretty much all of the money is going to go to football and basketball. And then as Nick Saban pointed out, Nick Saban said, you're going to lose Olympic sports, you're going to lose non-revenue sports, you're going to lose scholarships. And he says he can see a day, and maybe not in the not too distant future, where it's football, basketball, and then club sports at given universities. Now, that may change at some schools like, lacrosse at Syracuse, or, baseball at a school that's a baseball powerhouse. There may be exceptions to the rule, but I think his point is a good one, that if we're not careful here, you're going to start seeing all the money go to football and basketball. And then not only is it going to hurt the other sports, but you may see those sports go away to the point where they're club sports.
Like Syracuse did something in its short time in the ACC that most schools don't do, Steve. And they've picked off Duke a couple times at Duke, right? While winning those games was hard enough when you were all on the same playing field, winning at Duke, UNC, Louisville, and Virginia is just almost impossible now with NIL. Can it be done? Yeah, but the odds are stacked against you, right? Yeah. They were already stacked against you before money, but now you're going to go to Duke and win? I mean, schools like Clemson have been in the ACC the whole time and barely won a game there.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about in the last segment about the gap. Is the gap going to widen, or are you going to be able to close the gap? And that's why this is such a critical time with a new coaching staff, a new AD coming in, trying to figure out the NIL game to a point where you don't fall further behind, but you are able to at least stay where you are or close the gap a little bit. And that's why it's such a critical time, because you're right. I wouldn't say it's impossible to beat those teams, but
the odds of you beating them now are
the odds are stacked against you. I think that's a good way to put it. The odds are stacked against you.
And it was hard enough when you were just going scholarships.
Right. Those programs were already in a better spot than you, and now you factor in the NIL, and it feels like the gap is widening. It certainly has been widening the last few years.
And for schools that are just below this, Syracuse, Virginia Tech, to stay in that quad one range is going to be more difficult.
Yeah, and as we've discussed, it's really tough to be good in both football and basketball. Mm-hmm. And is Syracuse going to try and be, right now it seems like Syracuse is trying to be good in both. A lot of schools are trying to be good in both.
Yeah.
At some point you might get to a point where you start, you throw up your hands, you say, okay, we're going to use this money and we're going to...
It's going to be football.
One would think, but you hope that's not the case, right? And again, that's why this is such a critical time. And, but if there's only so much money to go around, you got to make decisions. Where's that money going to go? Do we want to be average in both? Do we want to be really good in one? Can you succeed in both? I mean, these are questions that need to be answered by Brian Blair and the decision makers up on campus.
And to everybody's point, the NCAA is making it easier by expanding these tournaments.
Yeah.
So it's that's I think that's the easy way out, though. What we'll do? We'll just make everybody in the tournament. You gotta find a way that Syracuse needs to be good enough that they would have made the tournament without being in a play-in game that was just added.
Correct. Right. Correct. And you get back to that conversation we had yesterday about what is the orange standard. We know what what it is, right? And I think that was part of the problem with the Orange Standard was that it was the destination. It wasn't the map on how to get there, right? Like at least with Fran Brown and the Dart, like that is he's talking about what his principles are in terms of how to get to the destination by being detailed, accountable, relentless, and tough.
I've told
the Orange
you,
Standard was just the destination, right? So how do you get back to we all know what that is. It's being in the tournament year in and year out. It's Sweet 16s on a regular basis, competing for conference titles like that. That is what fans expect for Syracuse basketball. So what is the roadmap to get back there? How do you go about doing that? And I think that's part of what was lacking, the last few years.
Yeah, it's LA Orange says Ken Palm 60 is not the Orange Standard, Paul. Correct. That's why Red got fired. Is this hard to figure out?
No. I think the solution is hard to figure out, but where they are right now is not hard to figure out.
Should Syracuse be happy if they make the expanded tournament next year? Yes.
100%.
Absolutely. But you've got to do it in increments. Hopefully they don't, and they make it just on their merits. But right now, you got to go with what you can get.
They haven't been to the tournament since 2021.
Yeah.
If they make the tournament in 2027, you are happy with that, regardless of how you get in. And that's about pushing it in the right direction, right? So, I mean, even if they end up in Dayton next year, is it 100% what everybody wants? No. Is it a step in the right direction?
Correct.
Absolutely. Because even, you talk about the expanded tournament or whatever. So, if that means that last year they would have missed out. Well, they wouldn't have made the NIT last year, right? So it is a step in the right direction. You hope that they're better than that. You hope that they're, a top 8 seed or better, whatever benchmark you want to put on it. You hope that they're safely in. But if they get in the tournament next year for the first time in 6 years, yes, of course it's a step forward.
All right, we'll talk about what you wanted to talk about.
Well, no, we've got a guest
later on.
So, that's what we did yesterday. We said, we'll get back to this, and we never did. So, we've got Isaac Shade, Locked On College Basketball, Locked On UNC. He will join us next on ESPN Radio.
Gabriel, you also say I would never make it in New York as a sports talk host, but you don't like my attitude. You go listen to New York sports talk shows and tell me if I'm any different than them. You don't criticize, Gabriel. You take personal shots the whole time. And you doxed me. Yeah, Sweet 16. With that terrible player, Buddy Boeheim, got him there. And Joe Girard.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about this.
It's because they're milquetoast. And I've turned down big radio shows because I was taking care of my sick mom and other things. And I like it here. Doubt. Okay.
We don't have him yet, so just be aware of that. We might have to
Okay.
dance a little bit.
We can talk about
No, well, I mean, I guess we can.
That's fine. But don't act like I am like you guys and take personal shots about your sex lives and your sexuality and your other stuff like that. Because I don't. Trash takes? Yes, you have them. Call you dumb for your takes? Yes, we'll continue to do that. Do I think you're dumb overall? No, I'm sure you're very smart in certain things. Whatever you do for a living. Okay, personal. Just because I say your takes are bad and you're stupid, okay, you keep doing what you do. Gaper, you just say what you want. I'm fine with it. I'm very self-deprecating, and I can take a joke very well. You're pretty stupid, Grant. Steve's stupid, even with a 3.9. He comes in here every day. What kind of freaking idiot would do that? Yeah, I'm going to continue to say your arguments are dumb. It's my style. I'm not taking personal shots at you. It's just like when you post jokes on my Facebook. I'm going to say they're stupid. That's true. You do have stupid takes for a 3.9. Yeah, I bicker like a little bitch. But that's not all I do here, Gaper. That's not all I do in Syracuse. I have multiple jobs, and I'm very happy here. And I have turned down jobs. Soul to squeeze, Steve. You ever squeeze the soul out of somebody? This show squeezes the soul out of me every day. I go home and I just stare at the wall. I look at my dog and I'm like, I wish I was you. Just had someone feed me and give me rubby roos.
Indy does have a great life. I will say that.
I take care of my girl.
I know you do.
We waiting on our guest? Where's Tim? I missed Tim already.
I believe we have him.
Is he on VMix or is he on the phone?
That's a great question, Paulie. I'm waiting for the answer on that.
Because, I mean, you know, when Tim's here, everything runs so smoothly. 1 second, we've been told. Not on which he's going to be, but 1 second. Tim leaves.
We'll find out together.
The whole show goes to hell.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
I can't work like this anymore.
We'll find out together. We love having Isaac Shade on from Locked On College Basketball, Locked On UNC. We can certainly ask him about ACC basketball. We'll talk to him about big picture stuff as well. The expanded tournament, the legislation that's out there right now, the proposed bill, a lot to get to. And with that, we will bring on Isaac Shade. Now, Isaac, always great to have you on. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
We're doing well. Before we get into the big picture stuff, tournament expansion and the legislation that's out there that's being talked about over the course of the last week or so, bring us up to date on North Carolina. How are things going down there for Michael Malone as he tries to put together a competitive roster heading into year one?
Yeah, it's a great question. They got one of the big losses over the offseason was Henry Vasar, the big Estonian, I call him, deciding to ultimately stay in the NBA draft. Probably a good move for him because a lot of other bigs are coming back to school. Looks like he's going to slide into the back end of the first round. But what that means is that Carolina really needed to be able to backfill, and they've done that with two different players out of the international market. They first went and got Sion Kaita, who's going to come over from Barcelona. He's a high ceiling prospect, but he's young and raw and slender. They've also added over the weekend, publicly announced, Alexandros Samadurov, who is Greek, is going to come over. Interestingly, he was formerly teammates with Neil Abdallas, the Virginia Tech transfer, who's in Carolina's backcourt. And so it's going to be, I think, a combination of those two guys starting at the 5. And so that's the big question. We often see these European players come over and take a while to get adjusted to the college game because of the physicality, the speed, the athleticism. So that's a big question mark. The strength, in my opinion, for North Carolina this year is going to be in the backcourt, in a big flip from last year. In addition to Neo Abdallah, who's a 6'9" guard, essentially, they've added NC State transfer Matt Abel, who made a last-second decision to pull out of the draft and ultimately stay in college. I think he takes a huge jump and could be Carolina's best player. And then at the point guard for Carolina, they're going to have Utah transfer Terrence Brown, who scored just shy of 20 points a game last year at Utah. So I think that's your starting backcourt: Terrence Brown, Matt Abel, Neo Abdallah. At the 4 is the lone returning main rotation player, Jaren Stevenson, and then those two guys I mentioned at the 5. I think that is essentially your main 6 players for the Tar Heels. Have some other depth pieces. I think right now I would have them as in the 20 to 25 range in my way too early top 25.
You know, you say they're bringing over players from overseas. We see like DeRitter's 23 and Will Wade's bringing in a bunch of 26-year-olds. Are they younger kids, or are these guys grown men that North Carolina's bringing in?
It's a mix. With Kaita, he's 19, and then Samadurov is 21. And so both still college age, unlike DeRitter, as you mentioned. But one is more like traditional freshman age, one more traditional junior age.
Do you think this is the wave of the future? You know, we look at the Syracuse roster, same thing. They've got a few international players that they're bringing in, and it almost seems like a lot of coaches currently are preferring to go that route, bringing in, you know, somebody who's a little bit older from overseas, as opposed to going the high school route, for instance, and, you know, bringing in a, you know, top 150 player in the country, you know, to be a 18 or 19-year-old freshman.
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely makes sense. If you could get older, more experienced players who you've seen do it at this type of level, whether at the Division I level or overseas in higher levels like EuroLeague or something of that nature, you trust that because you know it's up to par. With the high school guys, you think you know it. Like, there were some slam dunks last year, right? We saw Cam Boozer just win at every level, obliterating Peach Jam, obliterating the high school scene. But with other guys, you just don't know. Yeah, you'll have guys pop every now and again, like, let's say, Keaton Wagler at Illinois last year took the world by storm, and he was ranked like 150th in the class. But he's an outlier. And so would you rather a proven commodity or someone that you haven't seen do it at the collegiate level yet? I'm going with those older guys every time because beyond the basketball experience, there's also the life experience. They probably know how to do locker rooms better. They probably understand concepts better. And so more often than not, absolutely, I want the older guys. It's different at the professional level because I'd rather pay a rookie contract number. But here in college, it makes sense. I hate it for the high school kids. That's the tough side of this, is where they're really getting the short end of the stick. But the product on the floor, we got to be honest, the product of college basketball is great right now, and I think it's because we've got so many older, more experienced players.
You know, we've spent a lot of time over the course of the last month and a half talking about expectations around here for year one under Jerry McNamara. And I would imagine that, you know, the expectations down in Chapel Hill are even higher, right? The standard that is expected of North Carolina basketball. What are the expectations? What is realistic for Michael Malone in year one down there?
It's funny. I just talked about this on my Locked on Tar Heels podcast yesterday about other recent first-year North Carolina coaches. Of the most 4 recent, all since Dean Smith, all of them have at least made the second round of the tournament. You've had 2 Final Fours, an average of 27 wins a season. Funny enough, the worst first-year coach in terms of record of the last 4 was Roy Williams, who, quote, only went 19-11 in that first year. But I think what that means is the expectations for Michael Malone are that you don't get a ramp up. You got to come in. You got to compete as a top 4-ish team in the ACC, which is going to be tough because you guys know as well as I do that the ACC is climbing back up. Duke's going to be great. Louisville should be great. I think Miami's going to keep rolling. Virginia, all of that. So that's tough, but that's the expectation, as you just said. And then I think you've got to at least not just make the tournament, but win at least one game for the season win at least 25 games. Now that gets a bit easier because we are moving as a Division I entity up to 32 regular season games this season.
Yeah, and, I think this is our first time talking to you since the tournament officially expanded, so let's go there next. Going from, it went from 64 to 68, now it's at 76. Little more margin for error for everyone involved, right? Those bubble teams from the last few years would have gotten in with 76 schools. Do you like the change to 76, or do you think it's too much? Is it too watered down at this point for your liking?
I hate it. I'm so distraught. Look, we're all going to keep watching. It's all going to be great because there's basketball. But where I think it really hurts is the common fan who maybe isn't as locked in as we are throughout the season. Because if you're sitting there trying to fill out a bracket maybe Monday or Tuesday, there are now going to be 12 different slots that are either-or teams in the play-in games. Because, yes, you're only adding 8 teams, but that means that there's going to be a total of 24 different teams at a play-in level, 12 different games with 6 on Tuesday, 6 on Wednesday. And so the beauty, like think about we're in college baseball playoffs right now, for example. And I know Syracuse doesn't have a baseball team, but like the beauty of the college baseball bracket is so perfectly 64 teams. And I think that's why a lot of people are really starting to love college baseball, for example, right now, because it looks so great. You've taken, the NCAA has, what is the most beautiful product they have and also the most financially capable product they have, because as a reminder, the NCAA does not own the college football playoff. It's its own entity. And so they've taken that and they've made it more confusing. They've made it a harder entry point to get into and understand it. Yes, it's good for some of these schools who are going to get in, but it also, in the same way that 20 wins isn't 20 wins anymore, just making the NCAA tournament isn't as select a thing and is not going to be as helpful for coaches. And so any coach that's like, oh, man, this is easier for me to keep my job because I can get into the tournament now, I don't know that benchmark is still going to be the same anymore.
Yeah, it's not going to be good enough, right? It's going to be, well, you made the tournament, but how many games did you win? So it's not going to be good enough to make it. Now you got to win a few games in order to keep your job. No, that makes a lot of sense. We also wanted to get your thoughts on the legislation that is out there, the Protect College Sports Act that's being talked about so much over the course of the last week or so. There's a lot in there, Isaac. What's your take on it? What do you like about it? What do you think is going to be an issue with this new legislation, if anything?
I like the concept of trying to do something. I'll say my favorite part of it here in just a second, but I do want us to all be reminded that the whole reason we have to do this is because the NCAA was unwilling and incapable to lead out on making NIL structure before it became a thing. The NCAA was unwilling and unable to lead out on transfer portal structure before they were kind of forced into it. Had they done so, we would probably already be in better shape. But the entire time, the NCAA has been reactionary to all of this instead of being proactive. And so while they're begging and pleading for help from Congress, we lay the blame, at least I do, solely at their feet for not leading out earlier than they did. Now, that said, we got to do everything we can to try to fix this. And so I'm grateful that somebody is trying to do something. I know the SEC and Big Ten unshockingly came out yesterday on Tuesday and said, hey, as it's written, the Protect College Sports Act, we don't like. However, essentially, to paraphrase it, we like that something is happening and we want to get into dialogue and discourse. And that I'm very in favor of. For example, the biggest thing that I want to see happen is I love the agency for student athletes to be able to transfer. But I don't like the Wild West nature of just go anywhere and do anything as many times as you want. So I like, for example, that the Protect College Sports Act is trying to get it back to a one-time transfer, which, as a reminder, we had for a quick second before that was sued to death, and then we went quickly from that to as much as you want. So the idea of swinging that pendulum back to the middle where, hey, look, I get when you're 17 years old, it's hard to make a lifelong decision about where you're going to go to school, and you might get it wrong. But we're going to give you one opportunity to move, But beyond that, you got to then make a right decision. It's the same, like I've compared it to dating. I didn't know who I wanted to date. I didn't date my wife was the first person I dated. But through dating somebody, I found out who I wanted to marry. And then I was able to figure out, that's the type of woman I'd like to date and eventually marry. I think the same thing is true here. So I really hope we can get some sensibility back to the transfer portal.
I love that aspect of it as well, Isaac. And that was a great analogy. My concern is, as you pointed out, that for a hot second we had that, and then there was lawsuit, and then they changed it. How concerned are you that these things are going to continue to be challenged in court? Whatever the whatever the framework of this ends up being, and that it just won't stick. And again, the lawsuits will constantly be changing the rules.
I mean, that's what we've seen for the past half decade now. And I think that's part of why a big part of this that you don't see in the Protect College Sports Act is anything about student athletes becoming employees of the universities, because they know that if that happens, that leads to unionization, which leads to collective bargaining, and then that's a whole different ball of wax. So I think the major part of this for the NCAA is trying to get that antitrust exemption where they can't be sued for a lot of these things. But, I mean, it's just for example, everything the NCAA came out with that verbiage, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago now, about trying to regulate more the international market. I'm just like, I don't see that happening because, as we were talking about earlier, how many teams all over the country are wildly dependent on these players now, and it would hamstring a vast majority of Division I basketball teams if that goes into effect. I just don't see the NCAA being able to enforce that without a mutiny on their hands in courts all over the nation.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, I do fear that everything's going to continue to be litigated, but I'm curious to see about this antitrust exemption.
I'm going to have Steve explain your dating analogy to me because women don't talk to me. So I'll have him explain that to me during the commercial break.
Isaac, we love having you on. Thanks for the insight.
Man, it's a pleasure, guys. I always love getting to do it.
All right, Isaac Shade, Locked On College Basketball and Locked On UNC. We'll take a timeout. Full lines open the rest of hour number one if you want to check in. 315-437-7644. We are back after this on ESPN Radio. Whose pen is this? Why is it so small?
I think it's Tim. It's a golf pen. You all right? Are you complaining about a pen, you diva?
No, it's so small.
You want an adult-sized pen?
Thank you.
Maybe if you brought your own, you wouldn't have to worry about it.
I thought about it, but I was like, there's pens there.
Come prepared to class. Jeez. Super Cat coming at Tim. Steve needs something a little more girthy in his hand.
It's hard to write with this thing. It's so small. Can't get the job done.
Why do you hate Red? Red didn't do it on purpose. Like, I don't get that. He burned us? No, he burned himself. All he did was ask, I know Steve. He was bitching about the pen being too small, so I got him a pen.
No, there was no bitching. I was just
you're like, well, what's wrong with this pen? I mean, I know your take. You're like, I don't like this. I don't like it. Right? Yeah, you don't. You threw it. I've been working with Steve too long. I know him. Like when he says he likes the food, I know he's lying to me. He didn't. He made the same face about this pen he made about brisket.
Oh,
why do you have a pen? Does it mean I love him that I said he didn't do it on purpose? Do you think he tried to make Syracuse bad, LA Orange? Because that's weird. Why do you have a pathological, irrational hate for him? He's a good coach. He wasn't a good head coach. He's fine. Like, I don't hate Red Autry. I'm sorry if that offends you guys. And it's not like I've known Red for almost 20 years. Like, I'm not going to be a dick about it. I've known Jim Boeheim 25 years. Not going to be a dick about it. I've known Jerry a long time. I'm not going to be a dick about it.
Grant, the tie with Virginia and Red, it's kind of twofold. Number one, he worked with Ryan Odom. They were on the same staff at Virginia Tech, so they knew each other previously and had a working relationship. And then two, obviously Red's area of expertise before he came to Syracuse was the DMV area for recruiting.
No, he's not even my friend or closest confidant. I've just known him a while. If you weren't in the chat, I wouldn't talk shit about you to other people. LA Orange, because I like you. There. I'll talk shit to your face. He's a very good recruiter, guys. I walked the Parkway yesterday. Steve, what'd you do? Anything
Indy?
good? No, Indy. I took Indy for a walk around downtown. I walked a lot of steps yesterday.
Nice.
I got a ton of steps in.
Yesterday was a busy day for us. High school girls lacrosse sectional finals. There was one boys lacrosse final. There were like 3 state playoff games for baseball. It was a busy day.
Red Hot Chili Peppers are artist of the day. Scar Tissue.
All right, let's check in on the market. Mike from Lee Baldwin and Company joining us now. Mike, how's the market today?
Hey, guys, giving a little bit back today. It seems like most of the last couple of weeks we've been positive almost every day at noon, but all 3 major averages are down, led by the NASDAQ, almost 1% or 262 points. We do have a nice diamond, though. Caterpillar is at an all-time high. It's up over $14 to $924 a share. So a great day for Caterpillar. Plenty of dogs out there, but we're going to go with PayPal, which is down about 12% or $2.25 to $16.50. And overall, not a great day, but we'll see if we can maybe get a little rally into the afternoon.
All right, Mike, thank you for coming on.
Thanks, guys.
All right, all the diamonds, none of the dogs. Be sure to visit LeeBaldwin.com. Does anybody use PayPal anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I feel like everything's Venmo these days.
PayPal, I don't think PayPal's a totally different thing.
Is it?
Yeah, you can't pay for things on eBay with Venmo.
True. Okay.
PayPal is used for transactions.
Well, so is Venmo, yeah.
Well, amongst friends.
Yeah. Well, you can pay. I think you can pay companies with it too.
I would not do that.
No?
I don't feel comfortable.
Okay.
That's making me uncomfortable.
Okay.
I don't trust it.
Do you have a defunct store of the day?
Yes. Ames, Steve. You remember Ames?
I do remember Ames.
Ames is our defunct store of the day. And I was just thinking, we've now done Phase, which was on this side of Wegmans and Western Lights, and Ames, which was on the other side.
Right.
And Chase Pitkin. Western Lights has had some defuncting going on, Steve.
Times change. Things change. Shall we get to our Yankees update?
And the West Hill Theater was there once too, Steve.
No, that's right.
That's defunct also.
Our Yankees update brought to you by the Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus. Yankees lost last night to the Guardians 9-4. Not a good start for Cam Schlittler. Struggled allowing 4 earned runs over 4 1/3 innings. He did strike out 3. Aaron Judge scratched from the lineup with a bone bruise in his right rib cage. He's considered day-to-day.
You ever had a bone bruise, Steve?
We'll see a specialist today, of course.
Of course.
A bone bruise? Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had one.
You play sports, you're gonna get bruised. You're
On
gonna
the
get
bone?
Yeah.
Seems like a deep bruise. Where was your bone bruise? Tell us about your bone bruise, Steve.
You don't want to hear about it.
I
So
do.
the one that sticks out to me, if you must know,
Yeah, I would love to hear about your bone bruise.
I got upended on my way to making a layup, and landed flat on my back, and had a pretty significant
on your spinal.
Yeah,
on your spinal.
yeah,
You
yeah.
got Tysoned?
Yeah, it was painful. Yeah.
You ever been concussed? I've been concussed multiple times.
I have not been diagnosed concussed. Let's put it that way.
Steve got spinaled like Mike Tyson. That's awesome. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Thank you.
We don't have the SOS anymore, so I can't ask them about bone bruises. So I'll just ask you about yours.
Yankees and Guardians back at it
How'd the
tonight,
A's do?
7:05. I don't know. How did the A's do?
Come on, man. Know your job. You started this.
We're going to talk about the A's every day.
Yes. They're our team. They're the official team, though. We're all...
Paul Davis is the official
the A's
musical act of our show.
The Padres stink. Now the A's just got to go.
Let's find out.
The official team of Orange Nation.
The A's, they beat the Cubs last night 2-1.
Let's go. Let's go.
Not known for their pitching, but they got the job done last night with their pitching.
So that you can quote me on that, Tronic. That's awesome. I'm sorry that happened to you.
A's are 3 games out of the division lead right now, in case you're wondering.
All right, let's take a time out. We'll drive into hour number 2, Steve.
We will do that.
I missed. If someone asked where Tim Leonard was, too, by the way, he's just on vacation. He went home for the rest of the week.
He did. He went to see some family.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to talk NHL. We're going to talk Stanley Cup Finals. On the other side, we've got Greg Wyshynski from ESPN. He's set to join us. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
Correct. Like his show is on vacation, like we've done with a million other shows. He'll be back in football season, probably around the fair. But he will be here working still. Thank you. What up, Jill?
You're the man. Thank you.
I am back to throwing steel. Can you tell?
I told you people would notice. I tried to tell you that. You didn't listen. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, some of them are just thoughts.
Yeah,
Some of them
no,
are
it's good.
questions.
Good.
It is cold in this studio.
Gavendo, I think the Spurs are the better team, but I would not be shocked if the Knicks won.
How many push-ups you do today, Steve? Yeah, come on, let's go. Let's get jacked. I just don't want to be fat, Gaper. That's fine. Can you just hear something and not be an asshole? You have to go to Highmark at least once. Have you found a game you can afford?
We're definitely going to go to the Bills-Jets game on the road, the MetLife one, because my daughter lives in New York, as you know. Have not decided yet.
Two-game year for the Infantes?
We've gone to 2 games before, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the ticket prices are outrageous. I'm not paying $600 a ticket.
I'm also on a calorie deficit, guys, right now, because I got big while I was hurt, while I was going to PT.
What's that?
I got fat while I was going to PT. I had these big bubbles hanging off my ass. Ass bubbles. I don't know.
Problem with that, Michael Antonio, is say the Knicks in 7. That means they would have to win Game 7 in San Antonio. And maybe they will. I don't know. I'm going to give the edge to San Antonio, but I do think it could be a good series.
I do go slow because I don't want to hurt myself, Chronic.
I would say if...
and I use machines, not free weights.
Michael Antonio, I think if the Knicks win it, I think you're right. I think it's in 6 games, not 7.
Shut up with your sports. Talking about throwing steel here. I use machines and go slow. Blades of Steel.
What?
Remember that video game, Blades of Steel? So we're just saying steel things. Love roller coaster. It's been a roller coaster of emotions in sports for us this summer, Steve. The Knicks are winning. Our friend Dan Duva's team is in the finals. NIL is crushing Syracuse. It's a roller coaster. This is from the Beavis and Butthead movie. You ever see that, Steve?
I did not see that movie.
That's the least shocking thing I've ever heard.
Did you?
Yes.
Was that any good?
I love Beavis and Butthead. That's the show. That's the difference between the show. I laugh at Beavis and Butthead. You probably weren't allowed to watch it as a kid.
I did not watch it as a kid.
We all know that's the least shocking news ever.
All right, let's drive into our second hour. It's brought to you by Burdick BMW of Cicero and Burdick Toyotas. We're pleased to be joined right now by Greg Wyshynski, NHL senior writer for ESPN. Greg, thanks for finding some time for us today. How you doing?
First of all, full title. Beavis and Butthead do America.
Correct. Yes, that is correct.
America is the country that they are doing, and it is a classic cinematic experience.
I'll have to add that to the list, Paulie, of
Rogue
movies.
One and Beavis and Butthead do America.
In that order. All right, let's talk about Game 1 last night. And Carolina got out of the gates with those 2 quick goals, and then Vegas was the better team from there on out. They come back and Golden Knights win it 5-4. What are your thoughts? What's your reaction following Game 1?
Yeah, my reaction is that I think that the Carolina Hurricanes are facing the biggest, deepest team that they've faced in the playoffs so far, and there is an adjustment period for that. They came out of the gates, like you said, with 2 quick goals. John Tortorella, to his credit, corralled his guys on the bench and said, hey, we have a game plan here. We have an idea of how to handle this team. You're not executing it, so let's get to it. And once he did that, they got to it. They scored a goal, got back into it, and then all of a sudden, had the lead in the second period. So, adjustments are going to have to be made for Carolina. Some of that is simply just not overreacting to the pressure that the Golden Knights are putting on them. But there are some points of concern here for Carolina that go beyond last night, like the performance of their top line, the performance of their power play, and obviously a little disappointment in squandering a lead. This was, by the way, last night was the first time in 56 games that a road team got down by multiple goals in a game 1 of the Stanley Cup final and then rallied. teams were 0-55 until last night with what the Golden Knights did.
Remarkable. And you just brought up John Tortorella, and I want to go there next. Vegas obviously fired Bruce Cassidy on March 29th. 8 games left in the regular season, and they have looked like a different team since. How much credit of that goes to John Tortorella? What has changed with this team since March 29th?
I'd go like 70-30. The percentage split of 70% is Tortorella and 30% is just coming on at the right time. They were getting healthier. They got this guy, William Karlsson, back, who's a real key center for them. Actually, one of the Golden Misfits that's still on the roster, an original Golden Knight that's still there. And he, allowed them to move Mitch Marner back to the wing. Carter Hart, their goalie, was playing better. Like, things were kind of starting to come together a little bit for Vegas, but what they needed was a new voice in the locker room, somebody that was going to get them back on their details, somebody who was going to get them to play a little bit tighter defensively, and that was Tortorella's job. So they turf, Cassidy with 8 games left in the season. Torts comes in, needs about one round of the playoffs to get their attention. They didn't play all that well against Utah, but ever since then, they've been close to unbeatable, and you can see the difference in this team. And obviously, like I said last night, you can see the difference in having a guy that knew to say the right thing at the right time to get them back on their details.
We've seen Mitch Marner just on an incredible run during these playoffs, 22 points, including 7 goals. He's really, changed that whole narrative around him from his time in Toronto. Is it a case of, what has allowed him, I guess, to break out in these playoffs? Is it a case of, change of scenery for him, or like what has allowed him to play as well as he has?
I mean, it's probably not feeling the weight of a franchise that's been looking for a Stanley Cup since 1967 on his shoulders. I mean, and that's, we joke about it, but that's really what it comes down to, is that, Marner needed to be in a place where he didn't have to be the guy. Marner needed to be in a place where he had others that had won, Stanley Cups previously, where he could look into his locker room and see Jack Eichel and Mark Stone and all these guys that can carry the freight if he couldn't. And I think it made him more comfortable in himself, in his abilities. And you see what the results are when that happens. I mean, he was leading the playoffs in points last time I checked. Last night had an amazing blocked shot late in the game to prevent a goal. He's doing everything that he needs to do right now to be the leader for the Conn Smythe for MVP. And I know that's not sitting well with our friends in Toronto. I wrote a story last week about Toronto's reaction to everything that Marner's doing, and there's a lot of confusion, a lot of anger. But it was entirely predictable he could do this if he got out of the spotlight of Toronto.
What changes, if any, do you think we're going to see from Rod Brind'Amour going forward here in for Game 2? Game 2 tomorrow night. Does Rod Brind'Amour make any changes? I know there's been some talk about, does he change up that top line a little bit to find more consistency? What are your thoughts? Or is it just stay the course? This team's been so good in the playoffs. They lost 1 game. Do they just stay the course with what they've been doing?
Well, I'm glad you brought up the top line, because I do think that's sort of the story of the off day. I'm writing about it right now for ESPN.com. This whole thing with the Sebastian Aho, Andrei Svechnikov, Seth Jarvis line not producing not only last night but also throughout the playoffs. I mean, they've not been good. They've not needed them to be good because their other lines have been going so well. But now that you're playing for the Cup, you kind of need your top line to perform, and they're not doing so. So the problem for them is that there's no real way to change up that line and get them going, because if you change up that line, you run the risk of harming the lines that are going well. The Taylor Hall line and the Jordan Staal line, the one that produced the first 2 goals of the game last night. So they're going to have to kind of play through this. They're going to have to kind of figure it out. They had 1 good shift towards the end of the third period that maybe gave them a little bit of encouragement. But right now, to have your top line that you usually depend on be one and done in most of their shifts in the offensive zone is not going to get it done for this team.
How much trouble is Carolina in having lost home ice advantage, being down 1-0? Do you expect this to be a long series, or do you think they're in trouble the fact that they were unable to hold serve at home last night?
Well, obviously they're not in trouble because I picked them to win in 6, and we all know that my picks are ironclad. But no, they're kind of looking back right now at what happened to them in the conference final against Montreal. If you remember Game 1 of that series, they were terrible. I mean, they were terrible for a reason, which is that they had the longest break in 107 years in the NHL between the second round and the third round, and they were rusty, and you could see it. Last night they're kind of like, you know what, a lot of the problems that we had had were self-inflicted. There's, things you can clean up, things you can correct. So they seem pretty confident that they can come back with a better effort and win a game against the Golden Knights. And, there was a few things the Golden Knights did I think that could give Carolina a little bit of hope. I mean, I didn't think Carter Hart was good at all last night in goal for them. Obviously, they gave up a bunch of leads. They end up scoring the last goal of the game. That's all that matters. But, the Golden Knights didn't exactly completely dominate Carolina. And I tend to agree that I think it was more Carolina's self-inflicted mistakes than it was overall what the Golden Knights did. But, give them credit. I mean, they also played well enough to cause some of those mistakes and those mental lapses.
Vegas won, 39 games during the season. I know there's been some talk about potentially going back to the top 4 teams in each division making the playoffs. What are your thoughts on that? Would you like to see a change to the format?
Yeah, I would. I hate the wild card. I think, the 1 through 8 format it works for me. I also am, this isn't a hugely popular opinion amongst my hockey friends, and I'm also an expand the playoffs guy. The NHL is the only league right now amongst the 4 major sports that hasn't expanded its postseason in the last maybe decade. There's ways to do play-in games and keep the integrity of the 16-team Stanley Cup tournament. And I think that, especially in a season where you had so many teams in the mix towards the end, it would have been really fun to see that. But, the problem is that every time changing the playoff format comes up, it is pretty clear that Commissioner Gary Bettman has absolutely no appetite to traffic in that. The NHL likes the playoff format as it is. They think that the first-round matchups that it creates, launch the playoffs in a pretty impressive way. And although this postseason tournament has been very brief in some of these series, and we haven't gotten many game 7s or overtimes or anything, they're pretty happy with the results so far.
Since we've got you on, a lot of Buffalo Sabres fans, around here, and they, had a fantastic season and ended the drought. Do you think it's a one-time thing with Buffalo, or do you feel like this is a franchise that, hopefully is moving in the right direction, and we may see more of them in the postseason here moving forward?
Yeah, there's a lot to like. I mean, I think that the players that took a real leap forward this season will continue to improve, whether that's Rasmus Dahlin being a finalist in the Norris or, having Zach Benson and Josh Doan play as well as they have. They've got some interesting decisions to make insofar as how to fill some of the holes in the lineup, and also whether or not they're going to, pay the price tag on Alex Tuck, who's going to make a mint as a free agent this summer. But, I think the progress is good, but I would caution that that's a division that's going to look a lot different than it did this year. What with the Florida Panthers probably being the Florida Panthers again, they're going to have to improve what they already have. And the good news is I think they're pointed in the right direction.
Yeah, Alex Tuck, that's, he's from right down here in Baldwinsville, a story that we're certainly going to be keeping our eyes on around here this summer. You said a moment ago that you picked Carolina in 6. I'm going to give you a chance. Do you want to change your prediction, or are you still going Carolina in 6?
I don't know. I don't come off the bet until it's the last moment. When things look dire, then maybe I'll hedge. But listen. I admit to being a little bit hurricane-filled in my prediction. I covered them for the last 2 rounds. I've seen them beat some really good hockey teams and do so in a very dominating way. I think this is a different animal that they're facing in this series. I think the Golden Knights showed that in Game 1. It concerns me that they aren't going to be able to dominate the way they've dominated before in these playoffs. But again, I'm going to give them a game to show that they can adjust, give them a game to show that they've learned from their mistakes in Game 1 and see where we are. Because I think this is a really, really good hockey team, easily the best one Brendan Moore's coached here in Carolina, and we'll see what that manifests as tomorrow night.
Big Game 2 tomorrow night. Greg, thanks for the time.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thanks.
All right. Greg Wyshynski, NHL senior writer for ESPN. And with that, we'll take a timeout. Phone lines open the rest of the way. 315-437-7644.
So you can't be embarrassed about everything. You never know what's going to happen, Steve. If I'm talking Beavis and Butthead, someone might be jumping on board.
Yeah.
And by the way, that is the least shocking thing I've ever heard you say.
I know I'm in the minority on that, but no, I've never. I mean, I've seen scenes here and there, but I've never sat there and watched an entire
I wasn't
episode.
really big into the cartoon part of it, which is the whole movie. But when they sat and watched music videos on MTV, oh my God, hysterical laughter.
Really?
Yeah, hysterical. But you wouldn't laugh. You were like, "What's funny about that? Are you 5?"
Let's take a time out. I probably would say that.
You definitely would.
Back after this on ESPN Radio.
They were watching Billy Idol's Dancing with Myself video, and one of them said, I sense masturbatory overtones to the song, and I was in tears laughing. But you would laugh at Beavis and
Yeah,
Butthead.
it's true. Same with
South Park?
yeah, I've never seen a full episode of South Park.
Steve is Cornholio.
Would you allow South Park in your house?
You weren't allowed to watch South Park? I guess.
No, I was.
I guess I'm really old.
I just didn't.
I mean, my son's 5.5. Not from 5.5.
SpongeBob. 'Cause I know
SpongeBob,
we
we're on the verge of SpongeBob. He's aware of it. We watched a little bit of a SpongeBob the other day.
Family Guy?
I've never seen Family Guy.
I would watch like SpongeBob.
Family Guy is not for a kid. Really?
I would go from Forensic Files to the Little Einsteins to Family Guy to SpongeBob.
Little Einsteins I've seen.
That was like, I keep my grandmother up all night with Forensic Files.
Oh my God, Forensic Files! I've seen every episode. Yeah, it's so good. Steve, you into that?
Oh, such a good show.
I used to make Higgins watch Forensic Files with me when we had to share hotel rooms on the road. He'd be like, "Are you seriously watching this?" Yeah. You guys who watch a show, ask him if he knows what a forensic plumber is. That'll get him laughing.
Forensic Files made me realize.
Yeah, Gavendo says not to let you babysit. He's probably right.
Yeah.
If you're asking if
you can watch Family Guy is okay for kids.
I didn't see anything wrong with that.
I liked Ren and Stimpy, but as an adult, I watched that. Like, I was way too old to be watching Ren and Stimpy, but I loved it. I watch Mr. Ballin. I watch Mr. Ballin while I'm having dinner most of the time.
No, I was allowed. My mom wasn't exactly the biggest fan of me watching whatever, but she wasn't going to stop me from it.
Like, I wasn't allowed to watch Three's Company as a kid.
If it was up to my mom, probably I would not have watched SpongeBob, but he wasn't. Like, she wasn't going to stop me. There were bigger battles.
Why wasn't I allowed to watch it? Because my mom was very Catholic, and it was about a guy living with two girls who was pretending he was gay.
That's a great show, Brendan.
Is this the... Oh, this is today's business, and then we're going to do blind
Have you guys seen the new popcorn dispenser thing, the popcorn things that they're giving people? Like, they're actually AT-ATs from Star Wars, and like you can get Battle Cat from He-Man and open his back, and they're toys that move.
Well, the scary
and they're
movie,
huge.
The Scary Movie popcorn bucket. I think is that what that movie's called? Scary Movie. It's a bomb. That's the popcorn bucket at movie theaters.
My brothers were allowed to watch Three's Company. I was just too young. So I had to go upstairs, and they would put on Nick at Night, and I would watch The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis.
George Lopez.
I did not buy it. If I'm going to spend $65 on something like that, I'm going to buy one of the original ones. Spend an extra $50. Who's playing with dolls? I was just saying they're selling popcorn dispensers. I didn't buy one. God damn, Ellie Orange. Listen to the show. I sure as hell ain't paying $65 for popcorn.
Why would you do that when you spend the extra?
Yeah, like, I have the Millennium Falcon and Darth Vader ship at my house, but those are just like the 1978 originals. I'm not buying a toy. If I gotta buy one, I'm buying one of the 78 ones. It's collectible. Leave it to my son Paul when I die.
You get skipped over, Steve. Going to me.
Oh. Lost a no-hitter.
That actually, those went together.
That worked.
That worked pretty well.
Yeah, that worked.
Can we get that back?
No, we can't. Got distracted by the chat accusing me of buying toys or playing with toys. No, I was just pointing out that you can literally buy a battle cat. Like, it's about the size of the board here. So it's pretty big, like 2 hands to hold it, right?
Yeah.
And you unleash its saddle and you fill it up with popcorn at the movie theaters. And they have the AT-ATs from Star Wars. I call them AT-ATs. That's what I always called them as a kid. The Snow Walkers. And those opened up and they would fill them with popcorn, but they're like $65. Everybody said I wasn't about to do that. Carry a damn toy around with me. $49 for Battle Cat popcorn dispenser.
I mean, that's a lot of popcorn could fit in there.
I don't know that that's true either.
Looks like it. Looks pretty big.
It's only the very tiny part in the middle.
Yeah,
it's not. That's not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know that the whole thing's hollow.
It won't let me zoom in.
It's probably a large popcorn.
I see what Paul's showing me now. I take that back.
No, that looks like a small.
A lot of popcorn in there.
I said I'm not a parent and I'm not upset by it. I know some in the chat think I missed out on something. If I missed out on my kid asking me for $65 worth of popcorn, I'm okay.
Be the quickest no I ever got in my life.
Yeah, I can't say that I wasn't like I had all the expensive Star Wars toys as a kid, but I can't even imagine it. If someone asked me for a Millennium Falcon, get the hell out of here, kid.
Would you just buy it for yourself? Tell your kid to go get a job, get his own?
Right now, yes, I would. Yeah, my Millennium Falcon would be off limits to my children. Don't touch dad toys. All right, what do you got? Today's business brought to you by
Superior Plus Propane. So you guys talked about it for a second. NBA Finals Game 1 tonight. Spurs, Knicks at Spurs. Mitchell Robinson is available. I do think that makes a difference with his defense on Wemby. I don't think it makes much of a difference, to be honest with you, but there's a difference there. I think this is a Spurs in 5. I think it's kind of a gentleman's sweep, and they're going to, because...
You think they're that much better than the Knicks?
I just think 3-point shooting is so hot and so cold, and they've had a week off, thereabouts, and being
I think it's been 9 days.
9 days or more. Yeah, being a Celtics fan, you kind of see where the threes can if you just keep jacking them, it's not going to eventually work.
But hang on a second. The Knicks don't play the same way the Celtics do. Like, the Celtics are so reliant on the three.
I know they're not as reliant, but they shoot a lot of them, a lot of them go in. And that can flip on a dime.
Yeah, and everybody shoots a lot of threes these days. You're right. To expect the Knicks to continue to play like they've played to this point, I think is unreasonable, right? I don't think it's sustainable. 2 parts. You're right that 3-point shooting can be hot and cold. The other part of it is, and I said this on the show yesterday, that the path the Knicks had to get there was not a difficult one. It's not like they played the T-Wolves, Thunder, and Spurs, to this point. They had a relatively easy road to get to this point. So I agree with you that the Knicks are going to come back down to earth a little bit, but I do think these teams are relatively evenly matched. I think that Wemby flips the scales in the Spurs' favor. I think the Spurs are going to win the series, but I think it's going to be a good series.
We've sparked a discussion in the chat. What was your holy grail toy, Steve? Was there a toy you wanted when you were a kid besides a rock? I have one, and I had a girlfriend buy it for me when I was in my 30s because I never got it as a kid. And that was the Snoopy snow cone.
I was going to say the snow cone machine. We talked about this. Yeah.
Did you? You didn't have like a holy grail toy?
Holy grail toy.
I also wanted the Death Star. I never got the Death Star as a kid.
You know what
someone said the G.I. Joe battleship. I don't recall. They had a NASA. They had like a space shuttle that now sells for like $10,000.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It was very rare. No wrong answer, Steve. Why is this so tough for you?
No, I want to give you a good answer.
There had to be a toy you wanted as a kid that you didn't get.
Mine's not a toy because I was kind of towards the end of that, but it was a Derek Jeter T-shirt. I got that. So it was,
a Derek Jeter.
Do you know if you go to
why is it so tough?
Like you go to an arcade and there's I don't even know what you would call it, but the hockey. Like in the
That's a good choice.
The air hockey?
Well, it's not air hockey, no, but like actual hockey.
You can like move the characters around.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what you call that, but I desperately wanted one of those. And I eventually got it. Like
damn.
Yeah. Not like to that degree that you would see in an arcade, but I got kind of like a
what is that game
version.
called where the four guys it's like that, right? Where you
like foosball.
It's foosball, but
it's actual hockey. Yes.
Yeah. That's a good.
We had a foosball table at our house. We had a pool table, a foosball table, and my dad drew hopscotch on the floor. That's about it.
I don't know. For a toy, I mean, maybe the Wii. That came out, I think I was 8.
Yeah, see, I wanted a ColecoVision, and I never got it. That's the next on my I'm way too old to be buying toys list. I'm going to buy a ColecoVision. I have a Sega, a Nintendo, an Atari. I need a ColecoVision. What else you got for us, Paul?
Really quickly, I guess we can touch on. Also, I will say Athletics 4-7 in their last 11 games. I added it there since I didn't add it under.
Paul had it in today's business, not in the Yankees update. But
you've lost 5 out of your last 6 series. It's not been wonderful, but the to his point of pitching. 13-8, the Yankees put up 13 runs in an inning. They didn't have a hit the rest of the game. The Athletics offense still scored 8 runs.
Yeah, I mean their offense is legit, and it's a bad division. So I think they've got a shot. I mean they're only 3 back. They can't fall too much further back. But I love how somehow I've adopted them as my team. You just said you've lost the last 5.
No, it's your
5
team.
Or 6. I mean I haven't done anything. They're not my team, but I guess I'm pulling for them.
And then real quick,
guess I am.
AJ Brown. I don't know. Was Tim able to touch on that yesterday when he was in? Because I was going to ask you from a Bills point of view.
I don't think we talked about it yesterday. I don't love it from a Bills point of view. He's really good, and you look at his production. I mean, his production speaks for itself, and he's going somewhere where it sounds like he's going to be happy. So not only do you get the production, or you expect to get the production, but you get a happy A.J. Brown who's not pouting, and he's fully invested, and he's getting the ball, and he's going to be Drake May's number 1. So yes, from a Bills perspective, I do not like it at all.
A happy A.J. Brown won the Super Bowl with
That's
the
what
Eagles.
I'm saying, he's good even when he's pouting.
Yeah.
And if he's not pouting and he's happy, I worry what that's going to look like.
Another toy, Steve. Did you ever play with a water wiggle? Did you guys have that? That thing?
What?
They were banned by the time you were a kid.
This is like lawn darts?
No, yeah, but it's not as deadly. But they had to ban it. You don't remember that you hook it up to the hose and it had like all the octopus tentacles on it,
that's what it was called, but
it would whip you and wrap around your neck and choke you out.
Did not have that.
Yeah, you did not have a wet banana. Did you have a? That's what they were called back then. The slip and slides.
Slip and slides. Yes. Yes.
How much does the water wiggle sell for?
Let's see.
That thing would leave welts on you, man.
Oh, this is Reddit. There's no price.
Oh.
It was just a classic.
Yeah, it was dangerous.
If you stayed away from that, just don't run up close to it.
You didn't have a choice. It attacked you and wrapped around your neck, dude. It was basically fighting for your life as a kid.
I'm not picturing Paulie running down the street and that thing running after him because he didn't have a choice.
You could not escape it. It would hey, were you just over across the street at your friend's playing with a water wiggle? Yeah, I could tell. You have red marks around your neck and back. It was very dangerous. And then we'd play jarts. And then we'd throw rocks at each other and shoot each other with BB guns. My childhood was lit.
And would you collect the rocks after they throw them?
Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Dateline, South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. A now former South Carolina police officer faces felony charges after allegedly pointing his department-issued firearm at a fellow officer during a confrontation about microwaved fish.
Oh. I was going to guess. That's not what I was going to guess.
No, I was nowhere near that.
I wish Rick Giulio was here because he infuriates me probably twice a week. He microwaves shrimp and fish all the time.
It smells.
And it reeks, dude. Have a little class. Have some respect for your...
But you would not pull out a weapon.
If I had one, maybe.
They would, him and Rick. Yeah.
I yell at him on the regular. I don't know if you guys know Rick Giulio. We could talk to him about hockey, but he's on TK99, and he is a notorious seafood microwaver. I have not gotten pull a gun.
I didn't know that about him.
I have not gotten pull a gun on him, Mad, but yeah, don't do that at work. Don't microwave fish. You don't have to worry about that with
I think
Steve.
it's a good rule. I agree with you on this one, Paul.
It stinks up the whole place.
Wow, you two agree on a food take here.
I agree on that.
This is a bonding moment for you guys.
Yeah. All right, that was today's business. We're going to take a time out here. We're going to play blind rankings on the other side.
Something that came up in the chat. We're going to blind rank.
Back after this.
This should infuriate everybody.
That's all we live for these days, is to infuriate everybody. All right.
Go see if Rick's around.
He is.
Tell him to come here.
I thought for a second this was the Deion Sanders call. It was not.
I told him to make a promo out of the Deion Sanders call yesterday.
Google
it. No, you Google it. We just did a story on a cop who was fired because he pulled a gun on his coworker for microwaving fish and seafood like you do on a regular.
What's your point?
You're a horrible human, and just be lucky nobody's pulled a gun on you in this.
So the guy went to jail that pulled the gun?
Yeah.
Oh, that is exactly. I will let you pull a gun on me if it means you end up in jail.
I'm too cute for jail, man.
That's exactly what I mean. You would.
Now he's going to do it more and try to push you.
They would have a great time.
Someone else in the office yelled at him for doing it the other day too.
It's just shrimp.
Yeah, stop.
If you don't like it too bad, that's the way I see it. And I'm doing it at like 3 o'clock. Why are you in there at 3 o'clock?
It permeates the office.
And just
it permeates the
do your
office.
vast responsibilities or whatever.
See, the 2 hours out of the day where he's not yelling at you, this is what that is.
Yeah.
Steve doesn't microwave fish like a dick.
I think Rick loves you because you give him peace and quiet for 2 hours.
I like Rick. Rick's a good dude.
I'm pretty everywhere, Michael Antonio.
Who
Thanks.
was it that called you guys twins? And both of your reactions, like their face reactions to that was like you just killed their parents.
Him and Rick?
Yeah, someone called Paulie and Rick twins.
I'm not that ugly.
And it was immediate denial.
Shrimp is not any better. It stinks. It stinks like a goddamn fish store.
Well, it is fish.
Oh, man.
I feel like I'm behind, or I missed a song. Guess not.
Should we say the perfect game's over, but the no-hitter's intact because that worked so well? His screw-up last time? It was a walk. Maybe a hit batter.
It did work.
Yeah. I think we should give him a no-hitter still. No?
No, my no-hitter's over.
So why do you never start with a perfect game?
I do.
Well, so that was a hit that you gave up right there?
Yeah, no-hitter's over.
Because it works. So
It could have been like a single and like they threw him out trying to stretch it to a double.
There you go. That's fair. Okay. Yeah.
That was bad. That was a sharp single into left field.
Or a double and they threw him out.
Going to third. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Padres lost on a double play run.
You like that final at bat? And why Stanman's putting the rookie in that spot? I don't know.
Dude was swinging at everything.
Is the same pit? What's his name? Jace Bowen?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jace Bowen was called up for the Padres. He's facing Yohan Duran, one of the best closers in baseball.
You blow.
Stanman
right?
sends him out there, and it's 3 consecutive pitches, sliders, way in outside. He swung at all of them because he's like, "What am I doing?" And it's Duran.
Yeah. Hoping to get lucky.
Yeah. It's just maybe I'll get a fastball down the middle.
I say hello, ladies, every time I drive by cows, even if I'm alone. It's a weird thing I do. Hello, ladies.
So if you're driving by yourself down to like UNC
and I pass a bunch of cows, I'll say hello, ladies. Keeps me entertained.
And then I will count them.
And then you'll murder them, Steve.
You don't murder your own cows.
I don't murder any cows,
It's horses,
Steve,
but
or
you
horses.
can do cows too. You can do any animal.
I don't want to murder animals, Dahmer. Settle down.
Dahmer.
It's how they all start, with murdering animals.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, fair enough.
You should know that if you watch Forensic.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, fair. I understand none of that shit. Like, I'm too dumb, but it fascinates me.
You can't get away with crime.
That's what I've learned watching that shit.
Steve or Josh on K-Rock used to have, I haven't asked him about it, he used to have an irrational fear of being, like, caught for a crime he didn't commit.
That's irrational.
Danny, California. I did not use Californication because then I'd have to ask you if you knew what that song is about, Steve.
You just did.
No, I didn't.
Here, I'll ask you.
In a roundabout way.
Steve, do you know what that song is about?
All right, we've got blind rankings now, and it's a topic that came up earlier in the week about who is the best shooter of all time.
At Syracuse.
I guess we have to say 3-point shooter because I know we eliminated all the great shooters prior to the 3-point line for this exercise. Correct, Paul?
Yes, because we're throwing in 3-point makes, 3-point percentages, that kind of stuff.
Okay, so you came up with the top 20 3-point shooters statistically in program history, and we're going to do blind rankings. You're going to randomly give us 5, and we have to rank them.
Yeah, so we may not get Jerry, who many would probably consider as the best. We may not get him because it's a blind ranking. We're using a wheel.
I don't know. I would consider Jerry McNamara the best shooter.
He had the most.
Yeah.
I just feel a lot of the fan base would. That's why I just said Jerry. I'm just lumping. I don't know about you.
He got buckets, but if I was saying shooter-wise, he probably wasn't the best.
We said this yesterday. He was a shot maker.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there are other guys who are a better pure shooter, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
But there's no denying, his result. I mean, he had, if you look at the stats, he had almost 100 more threes than who's in second place, which is Buddy Boeheim. 100.
Yeah. But he also, hear me out on this, and I hope he's not listening. Buddy didn't have Carmelo Anthony, Hakeem Warwick on the court with him too.
I guess
that makes it harder.
Still, you got to make that. You got to make 100 more shots.
I mean, most 3-point field goals made in a season. Jerry's second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, it's crazy. He was good.
Yes, he was good.
Now, if you said best pure shooter, it's not going to be Jerry. If I had to have one person in my lifetime hit a shot when you needed it, it would be Jerry. Right?
Right. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes. Because he was clutch.
And
He's got the clutch gene as well.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Here we go.
I'm going to spin this.
Spin the wheel.
It's kind of like Derek Jeter. You wouldn't say Derek Jeter's the best hitter, but if you needed a hit with, the bases loaded, you want Jeter at the plate. So.
I do want you. You're absolutely right on that, actually. All right. Lawrence Moten.
Ooh.
Where would you guys rank Lawrence?
Man, right out of the gate.
Moten.
Of shooters?
5? Oh, man. Just... Again, statistically speaking, 32% from 3-point range.
He was a bucket, but I never really thought of him as a 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
I think that's an easy 5.
I mean, what if we get
Michael Beneget?
Well, I was going to say, what if we get like Chris Bell?
I think, 3-point shooter, I think Chris Bell was a better 3-point shooter than him. I wouldn't take Chris Bell over him in any other department. No.
Oh, man, I hate putting Moten 5th, but okay.
Okay. We can go 4th.
No. It's okay.
Okay.
All right. Back to the wheel. So Lawrence Moten at 5th. At 5. Are you guys, is this combined? Because I'm writing it down as separate.
Yeah,
you're doing one? All right. All right.
One.
I'll fix that then.
Well, we can,
I'll keep all of them.
I was going to say, we can tell you when we're done, what our list is.
All right, he was on last year's team. Nate Kings. Where would you guys put Nate Kings?
4, right? Yeah.
Now do you feel bad you put Moten?
I did.
Yeah. That's fun of this game. You don't know. You don't know.
That was the danger.
Yeah.
All right, so Nate King's in at 4?
Yeah.
Okay. I could tell that hurt you, Paulie.
Yeah, that did.
All right. We should have had the Wheel of Fortune. All right, Jerry McNamara. So now what do you do?
You put him 2
or 1?
You waste 1 on Jerry. I say waste, not knowing who you could possibly have.
Because you're never going to be wrong with Jerry McNamara, right?
Okay.
At 1?
You could be wrong with him at 2.
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
Let's go Jerry at 1.
That's a fair point. Okay. All right.
Jerry at 1. Nate King's at 4. Moten at 5. And Preston Schumpert.
3 or 2?
I mean, it all depends on who we get last.
Let's go 3, right? Let's roll the dice on 2.
Okay.
All right.
Someone's blaming you for this. It's not his fault. He just took the 20 best. And this is how it's working out. Number 2, who'd you get?
Chris Bell.
Oh, God.
Paulie.
That could not have went better.
Yeah.
That could.
Speak for yourself.
All right, hold on.
Now, if you had to rank these not blind,
yeah, what would be yours?
I would go Jerry,
Schumpert,
Moten, Bell, Kings.
Yeah. Either way for the last 2.
Yeah, I'd probably flip Kings just because when Bell got in his head, he couldn't do anything. So.
Yeah, so. Yeah, that's the power.
Didn't go well.
But that's what happens in blind rankings.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
We can keep going.
I feel like we should do it again.
All right, one more.
One more.
Clean the slate.
Here we go.
The slate and do it again.
All right, let's see if we can do better.
What I will say is those 5 are off the wheel because I don't have time to re-add them.
Okay,
so we're getting
fine.
5 brand new.
Okay, well, that's good. That gives us a hint. Then.
Yeah. All right. First choice is Andy Routens.
Oh, we got to go 1 there.
No.
Oh.
No. Who's better than Andy that's left?
Buddy.
But I mean, that's right. So
Buddy Joe is left.
I would say Buddy's the only other one that I would even consider.
Okay. Andy Routens. What about Andrew White?
I mean, again, I don't know. I mean, he had a great year, and it's hard for me to say he's the best shooter in program history.
Routens number 1. That's a hot take. Go ahead.
Who would you put above
I don't know.
him?
We'll find out. I don't know who's on the wheel.
Matt Rowe.
Ooh.
4, 3.
Matt Rowe. I mean, he shot 43%.
Yeah,
he might be second.
Yeah, okay. I'll do that.
He might be 2.
In 86
if
games.
Matt Rowe's listening, number 1.
Now we're in trouble. if Buddy gets picked.
Yeah, if Buddy pops up, this that first 5 could not have gone better for how this game is. Wesley Johnson.
Man, he was a sneaky good 3-point shooter. He was 41%.
3 or 4?
I think we got to put him 4 to be safe.
Okay. Johnson 4.
I don't like how this is shaping up.
Going 1 first was wild. All right, go ahead.
All right.
Let's roll the dice.
James Sutherland.
3. He was awesome.
37%.
Let's go 5 with him, or 3.
Man.
153 made in 4 years.
I think we got to go
3 or 5. He's not, but I would take
so Buddy, Joe, Trevor Cooney, like they're all still. Demetrius Nichols all still out there. I think Sutherland's got to go 5.
Okay,
just to play the percentages here.
All right.
The last one for this, it's still going. Joe Girard.
That's okay.
I got to go 3.
That's not
to your.
Well, if you could flip Sutherland and Girard, would you?
Yes, and I would probably put.
You'd put Girard 5th.
Yeah, I'd probably put him 4th or 5th and move Wes Johnson. I don't know. I'm okay with this one.
I mean, Girard's 3rd all time, and I realize he had a lot of opportunities, but he's 3rd on the all time makes list.
Yeah.
297. I would put Girard ahead of Sutherland.
To Steve's point with Andy, I mean he has 2 of the top 10 most made in a season.
Of these 5, I think we got it right. Who's number 1?
How would you rank those 10 if you could pick 5?
Oh man, I don't know.
Out of those 10,
if you could pick 5, if you don't want to go any order, you don't.
I think
you don't have
Jerry,
to,
Routens, Rowe, Schumpert, those would be definitely
Sutherland.
4 of the 5, and then I think the 5th is up for debate. But yeah, I mean, people forget how good Matt Rowe was.
He left though.
I know. He was a great shooter.
Yeah. I don't want to throw shade at Matt, though. He can beat me up.
All right, that was fun. We did our best.
I think that went well. The first one was great because the second I saw Chris Bell, I just knew.
Yeah, we didn't.
No, this is blind ranking. These are hot on the interwebs,
They are.
TikToks and whatnot, and sports media love doing these blind rankings. Want to do blind ranking rebounders?
Quarterbacks. It's a long summer,
It's a
man.
long summer. We could do this once a week.
I was gonna say we could do it once a day.
Yeah, we could do it once a day.
We would get tired of it.
Blind ranking running backs. That would be hard.
Yeah, it would.
Out of the top 20
Let's do that
running backs?
tomorrow.
Okay.
Top 20 running backs.
All right, there you go. Segment already produced for you, Paul.
Sounds great to me.
Okay, let's hit our final timeout. Still time for a phone call if you want to check in, 315-437-7644. We will wrap things up next on ESPN Radio.
Your mom got 7 minutes on the back end.
Just let Paul.
Bam!
No
recovery.
No coming back from that.
Steve's taking a drink of water to try and get out of that one.
Yeah, nothing I can say to that. There is no comeback to that.
July 8th.
Oh no, you've really got him. Now he's rattled.
It ended Battle Cat.
If you guys don't get blind rankings, then you're dumb.
Yeah, do people not go on their phone?
No, it's old people.
What?
I can tell old people don't like.
I go on because I don't do TikTok. I do YouTube Shorts.
Blind rankings are huge right now.
Every other post from my YouTube Shorts is blind rank the top 5 fast food chains. Blind rank these 5 Padres. Blind rank, like it's not. What?
Blind rank blind people?
Oh,
Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder.
Helen Keller.
Helen Keller. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
Who else is blind?
She's got to be more. Oh, the guy who's saying, the hell was it? The Dan Healy guy who's saying.
I have no idea.
Dan Healy, you don't know him?
You know any other blind people?
I don't know.
Angel Eyes. You don't know that guy?
When Paulie told
Jeff Healy.
Jeff Healy. When Paulie told me today's artist day was Red Hot Chili Peppers.
It's a banger.
He's blind? Yeah.
All right, so there's 4.
How does he know what she's looking like?
I actually knew today's artist of the day though. That's when Paulie said it was. I was like, oh, I know that one.
Paul's date's funny. That's a funny joke, Caper. My dates are blind.
How would you rank your last 5?
Blind rank. You want to blind rank my girlfriends? I'll give you their names and I'll tell you why I'm blind ranking them.
You were in on that meeting that the morning shows had to have, right? After the Taste of Syracuse people came in last weekend. You weren't in on that meeting? So there was... Believe what
yeah. When you say a meeting, it sounds like something bad happened.
No.
I knew that happened. Yes.
Yeah.
I thought they got in trouble.
No. K-Rock had to shut down their chat though.
Yeah, we have to shut down our chat. We had a girl on the phone the other day, and our chat lost her goddamn mind.
They used to do that when she was on Brian's show. They would all turn into weirdos. Who's that? Amanda.
Any girl.
Yeah, well, that's fair actually. Yeah.
If we took the top 20 appetizers and blind ranked them for Steve, that would be fun. That would be a fun. That would be a fun one. Like if we went by, found a national poll.
Popularity.
Yeah.
I was thinking Friday we could have you do 30 push-ups. What do you think? I'm telling you ahead of time so you could prepare.
You could dress properly.
Whatever.
Steve does not like that idea.
I don't know.
I just think it's a good
to
segment.
prove it.
Why not?
Prove your manhood to me, man.
I don't.
Prove your manhood.
I don't owe it to anybody. But
I never once. I'm out there, lowest settings on the weights. Squeak, squeak.
If you thought about doing a push-up today, that's more than me.
I could do 5 to 10 in one set.
you can do more than that.
I could.
To be fair, I actually think he could do it. I think he'd
do it.
I think he'd be out of breath.
In one set?
Yeah,
That's a
but
lot.
By 30,
yeah,
for sure.
I mean,
I haven't done a push-up in years.
you don't want to shut him up, though? Live on air?
I haven't done body weight workouts in forever. The term, so we were just talking about doing push-ups, and someone says if you can't do 25 push-ups, you don't work out. I don't do body weight exercises. Like, there's different exercises. I don't lift as much as my own weight. I think I could probably do 10. But I don't know. There's a huge list of bands.
You got to put Paul's mic on.
I don't have to do anything.
Okay.
You know what that means, Steve?
Got to check your rundown.
I'm checking the rundown. All right, here you go. I mean, look at the size of this list.
Wow.
Whoa.
That is a big list.
Thank you. Ariana Grande, Elvis, Bruce Springsteen, The Fix, Creed, Avril Lavigne, Bon Jovi, Kid Rock, Metallica, Blondie, DeBarge and El DeBarge, and the Mamas and the Papas. The Mamas and the Papas, DeBarge and El DeBarge, Blondie, Metallica, Kid Rock, Bon Jovi, Avril Lavigne, Creed, The Fix, Bruce Springsteen, Elvis, Ariana Grande. I don't know an Ariana Grande song. Steve, pick first. No wrong answers.
No wrong answers. Man.
I'll go first. Avril Lavigne.
That is not who I would have thought he would have picked.
I have a weird fascination with her music.
I'm going to go Creed.
Creed.
You a skater boy,
You're
Paulie?
a hipster.
I don't think we've had them yet.
Creed.
I was trying to go with somebody different.
My first concert, I was like, well, actually, I was
No one cares.
still in my
Just
mom's
vote.
stomach.
We got time. We
got to kill
I
some
don't care
time here.
about
Let him tell a
Paul.
story.
Well,
Let him tell a
We got to
story.
kill some time
Okay,
here.
you were a fetus.
A fetus,
when?
but actually, my first concert in the world was Bruce Springsteen when I was like 5. And
In the world.
I think I've seen
What
him.
was your first fetus concert?
Bruce Springsteen, actually.
All right. Well, what was your first?
So it was
You weren't
both.
in the world. So your first 2 concerts were Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I think I've seen him like 4 or 5. My mom loves him, so I got to go with Bruce Springsteen.
Okay. What was your first fetus concert,
Yeah,
Steve?
please.
Do you know what your
Enlighten
fetus
us.
concerts were? I don't know.
No clue.
I don't know that I
No
ever went
clue.
to a concert as a fetus.
I think I saw Paul McCartney as a fetus too. I want to say I did.
How was he, Paul?
I don't know. He was good when he was at Oriole
I smoked
Stadium.
a lot of Kent Golden Light 100s as a fetus. I can guarantee that. Bruce Springsteen, Creed, and Avril Lavigne.
That's awful.
There's pictures of my mom just puffing on cigs.
Is that right?
Yes, they didn't know better back then. It was crazy. What do you got? Chat. Bruce Springsteen, Creed, or Avril Lavigne under Matt from Auburn. Avril Lavigne wins thanks to Swift Mend.
There you go. You got your
missed
pick.
out on Creed. Yeah, Tim has won the past 2. We should keep track. You missed on such songs as
I feel like
One.
they're good for
Creed.
bump backs.
Creed is good. It's a banger. All right, before we end the show, should I make a new open now or at the start of football?
Either way, why?
That's not what I asked. Did you just answer a question? Yes or no? Should I make...
Why does it depend? What does it matter? This time of the year. Yeah, I think it's time for a new open.
Okay, all right.
But it could wait as well. Depends if you have time or not. I want it to be good. I don't
You're
want
the
you
most wishy... It's going to be good no matter what.
I don't want you to rush it.
You're such a dad.
I'm not. just say, yeah, let's make a new open now. And then we can discuss again at football season.
But why are the choices January 4th or
do you want,
September 1st?
I guess the question is, should I make a new open?
Yes.
Okay.
It's time.
He's such a dad. He's like sitting in his chair and wife comes over.
Sometimes.
What do you want for dinner? Oh, you pick.
I don't have a strong feeling about when the open is unveiled.
Okay, should I make a new open? Yes. Okay,
yes, you should.
I will. Because I think yesterday's call inspired me to make a new open. The Google it guy. Right? That would be a good that would be good in the new
was
open.
Funny. Do we want it every day though? I don't want him to feel bad.
Oh, he should feel horrible. He should feel terrible, but I can't believe he hasn't called and apologized to us today. You don't want him to feel bad. He called in.
He was wrong.
Can I be enlightened?
Yeah, a guy called in.
Oh, you weren't listening yesterday.
No.
Oh, see what happens when you don't listen.
Yeah. A guy called in yesterday, and we were talking that Deion Sanders played for the Sky Chiefs, and he said, no, they didn't.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, he did.
All right. Yes, he did. And he said, no, they didn't Google it. And I said, no, you Google it. That's a funny bit. Like, yeah, we're all wrong.
Yeah. We were not wrong about that.
I'm admitting I'm wrong in our current open. There's nothing wrong with being wrong every day.
Have you saved material somewhere? Do you have like a nice vault of some of our quality stuff?
I know what needs to be in an open, Steve.
Okay. All right.
I might change our theme song, too. It might be time.
That's a bold decision.
It might be time to change our theme song.
You should have asked that question as opposed to whether or not we should have a new open.
When I made the new open last time, I just changed it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking The Mission by Special Ed would be good.
Oh, I love that. I love that for us.
Yeah. That would be good.
Okay, I'm on board.
And
it just
starts out, we're on a mission.
Yeah.
And then
I'm on board with that. I like the vision. So yes, since you feel inspired, you should make it now. See, I needed more information.
Okay.
Now that I know you have like a plan, I think you should make it now.
And now is what I got to do is I got to tell the minions to go find all the audio.
Yeah, I was pointing to me going, Steve, it's David and I is who it is.
Give me something to do.
Knows where the stuff is.
I'll be like, okay, you remember when Steve flipped out on me? We have that saved, right?
Well, that's every day.
No. When he flipped out on me.
When did I flip out on you?
During a commercial break.
Who's he talking about?
I mean that
it was when we were interviewing John Wildhack for his retirement.
I think I have that saved.
I did not flip out.
I have that saved. Yes. Yeah.
No, you flipped out on me.
I have that. He asked for that the day of. That's how I know that is saved.
Gotcha.
False accusation.
I didn't flip out. There was that's not me flipping out.
To be fair, I can go grab anything because we have it all saved. So if there's anything you would want, let me know.
No, it's Paulie's thing. Just make it good.
I think you flipped out on me, and I know I saved it.
You're trying to find it.
I know I saved it.
Okay. You can tell me after this. We went from being early to now we're late.
You were like, could you ever just grow up and act your age?
Yeah.
That's not flipping out.
Just grow up, Paulie.
It's a factual statement.
This is a serious. Just grow up.
Come on. We got John Wildhack coming on. And you're over here talking about farts or something like that. You flipped out on me.
False accusation.
Can you grow up?
Until I hear it, I don't believe you.
Just wait for the new open.
I guess. Yeah. I guess so. All right. We got to go.
Okay.
Paul, thank you.
Thank you,
Steve.
For Paulie, I'm Steve. Enjoy the rest of the day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow at noon.